Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about NAG missile, which is an anti-tank guided missile. So this is also one of the component of integrated guided missile system of India. We will discuss about that also in this video, but the major focus would be on what kind of a missile it is and why it particular thing was in use. So let's begin. Recently, the final user trial of third generation anti-tank guided missile NAG was carried out successfully from Pokhran range in Thar Desert, Rajasthan. So this is one of the reason why NAG was in news, because the third generation trial was also held successfully. So the final user trial have also been completed, and where it was happened, it happened near the Pokhran site. Just remember, Pokhran is also the same place where the nuclear test was conducted in 1998. So just remember, just try to connect the dots over here. The NAG missile has been developed to strike and neutralize highly fortified enemy tanks. So what is the purpose? Like, what is the major goal of NAG missile? So it could penetrate and it could neutralize the highly fortified enemy tanks. So enemy tanks which are like even heavily guarded could be penetrated or could be neutralized by the NAG missile. So that is the major purpose. It also has night strike capability. So not only during the daytime, but even in night it can go ahead and strike the enemy tank. So that is one of the major function of the NAG missile. ATGMs, which are your anti-tank guided missiles, are missile system that can strike and neutralize armored vehicles such as tanks. So NAG, being an anti-tank guided missile, is something which is capable of doing that. Now it is also, remember, it is developed by DRDO. So just remember, the organization which is associated with the development is the DRDO. Now let's move forward and try to understand the features of NAG. So it has the minimum range of 500 meters and maximum range of 400 meters. So this is also something you need to know, like the range varies from 500 meters to 4 kilometers. So it could actually strike the enemy tank with the distance of 4 kilometers. As a third generation fire and forget category system, NAG missile uses an imaging infrared seeker to lock on the target before launch. So it is, first of all, it develops, or it is a third generation advanced level of fire and forget system, and it is using the infrared seeker. So it will, how it will seek out the target. So it will use the infrared imaging and then lock the target. So this is how the NAG function in terms of how it is locating its target. In the top attack mode, the missile is required to climb sharply after launch and travel at a certain altitude, then plunge on top of the target. In the direct attack mode, the missile travels at a lower altitude, directly striking the target. So just remember, if like for an example, the NAG missile is launched from here, and here is your what can be called as enemy tank. So here what will happen, if it is a direct attack mode, it will again go like this. But if it is like in the top attack mode, if the enemy tank is near, or if we want to totally neutralized it, it could go over here and then plunge, and then again from the top it could just destroy the tank. So these are the two modes available with NAG. It has capability to defend man-tank battles equipped with composite and reactive armor. So that was mentioned, even the heavily fortified tanks could be neutralized by it. The NAG missile carrier, what is called as Namika, is a Russian origin MBP-2 based system with amphibious capability. So what is amphibious capability means that it could function over the land as well as over the water. So Namika has both capabilities, and MBP-2 is kind of a mechanized infantry fighting vehicle. So a fighting vehicle, MBP-2, and it has the amphibious characteristics or capability. It could function from the land as well as on the water. So Namika will have both of these. The version of NAG 80 which is DRDO is currently working on, is also in final stage of development, which is the helicopter launched version of NAG and called as Helena. So it will also, it has already gone and successful test in 2018, and it is in the final stage of being available to the Navy. So that is also one of the thing which is under provision. So NAG, one of the carrier for NAG is called as Namika. The helicopter carrier of it will be called as Helena. Just remember these two as well. So just remember the things which you have to like really pick up from this slide is the range 500 meter to 400 kilometer. It works on the fire and forget capabilities by using the infrared imaging seeker. Then it has two mode, direct mode as well as top attack mode. Then it has the capability to defeat the main battle tanks, and also it is like having the Namika and the Helena version. Namika has the like amphibious characteristic which can like work from land and sea, and Helena is the helicopter version of it. So these are the few major things that you need to know. Like apart from that, nothing more is needed over here. Let's move forward. What is the significance, like now where we have even done the final user trial, what does it actually means? So the final user trial, NAG will enter the production phase. So now it will be going into the production phase. The missile will be produced by Defense Public Sector Undertaken Bharat Dynamics Limited. So just remember the production will be done by BDL, which is your Bharat Dynamics Limited, whereas Ordnance Factory Medak will produce the Namika. So Namika production will go to Medak, and the NAG ATMG production will go to your Bharat Dynamics Limited. This means that Indian Army will no longer have to import this weapon from either Israel or the USA for the range of 4 km. Now this is actually the most important significance that you need to know, that now we were earlier dependent on Israel or USA to provide us with a like anti-tank guided missile system from, if we have to target the enemy tanks beyond the range, like to the range of 4 km. Now we have the capability and we will not be dependent for imports from either Israel or the USA. It was due to unavailability of the credible anti-tank weapon that India had to buy around 200 pieces of Spike anti-tank missile from Israel as emergency purchases after the aggression by the PLA China in Ladakh. So this is something you can just relate. Like recently there has been a lot of scuffle around the line of actual control between India and China side, and because of the incapability, or you can say the quality or unavailability of the anti-tank missile, we need to import the Spike anti-tank from Israel. So if this NAG get into production and developed, we will not have to go through all these things. Further, the army is currently using the second generation Milan 2T and Conquer ATGMs and has been looking for third generation missiles. So that is something which they have been looking for, and it will be able to stop the advancing of enemy tech, and it will give like a great boost to the arsenal of Indian Army. So these are the major significance for the what kind of thing it will have over the overall defense system of India. Now let's just quickly go through the integrated guided missile development program also. So it was conceived by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to enable India attain self-sufficiency in the field of missile technology. So this is something which was envisioned by him so that India could attain self-sufficiency in missile technology. It was approved by the government of India in 1983 and was completed in 2012. So just remember that this is something which were envisioned by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and the idea was to get India to the self-sufficient stage in case of missile technology. What are the 5 missiles which were under this program? So this include Prithvi, which is your short range surface to surface ballistic missile. Then Agni, again ballistic missile with different ranges, like you have seen, like go ahead and check out, we have Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just go ahead and check the ranges of there and how they have advanced over a period of time. Then we have Trishul, which is short range, low level surface to air missile. So like how the methodological weapon of Trishul works, the similar way, it is short range and it is from surface to air, but it will not go too much high up in the altitude in air. Then we have NAG, which is third generation anti-tank missile. And finally, we are also talking about the Akash, which is medium range surface to air missile. So Akash is again something which is like air missile. So these are the these are the 5 missiles which are developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, and you can remember it by the mnemonic of Patna. These are important. Go through them in detail. Try to understand their specification, because UPSC do ask about the defense sector, and in general in your security section also you could expect some kind of question from here. So these are the major details that you need to know. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.